OK, so, to Frankie.
Celebrity atheist. I am an atheist, but I don't like celebrity atheists. I was a very bad Catholic, unless you include my attitude to condoms, in which case I was an amazing Catholic. But I don't like the judgmental nature of celebrity atheists. I think some religions have done good things. The Quakers fought against the Vietnam War. Liberation theology in Central America, those people all got killed standing up for poor people. And what's the reward? To be looked down on by Ricky Gervais. I don't need Ricky Gervais to tell me that God doesn't exist when I watch Derek get recommissioned twice. I just sort of think, you know, we all need something to get through. You know, and why stand in judgment on what other people need? So Ricky Gervais or Richard Dawkins, whoever, they need retweets or whatever they need. and other people need different things. I just feel the whole thing's a bit religious. You know, so it's the idea of certainty to me is very religious. The idea of judgment is very religious. And it's blaming God, it's blaming religion. You know, they go, religion causes violence. OK, some violence is caused by religion. Some violence is caused by lager. Some violence is caused by people cheating at pool. But at the moment when you go, I'm blaming that on God, that's like you don't get any mayonnaise in your chicken zinger and you blame it on Colonel Sanders.
I can sense Nicola here thinking, what's wrong with violence? Or what is winding up Diane?
Magicians. I think they're quite needy people, generally. Whenever I watch them, I'm never entertained.
That's quite a negative review.
Isn't it?
Really?
Yeah.
I love it.
I don't. There was one. I went to a restaurant, and there was one that was going between the tables, between courses, and showing you a card trick. And then he'd finish the card trick, and he'd wait, and you can't just go. You've got to go. Oh, that was good. How did you do that? So you feel like they're getting more out of this than you are. I think it starts with parents giving kids magic sets. Because if you give a kid a magic set, that's like a starter kit for a psychopath, isn't it?
I never had a magic kit, I must admit. Is it a common gift for children?
For psychopaths, yeah.
OK.
It's so boring. It's like cups and balls. Who cares? Pulling flags out your sleeve. I just can't find any enthusiasm for it.
What's Noel's choice?
Spiders.
Oh, that's... It was like they had a debate first. Shall we applaud?
Whole gamut of emotions.
Yeah. So why? Why spiders?
Well, I recently went to Australia and that was a whole nother ball game. I mean, I'm frightened of spiders here, but in Australia, they are massive. I mean, literally, one picked me up at the airport. In a taxi.
It's still on your head.
Quite good when we got to the hotel, though, because he picked up all my bags.
But, I mean, they're properly dangerous in Australia as well.
Yeah,
so
well, they can kill you. You know, like here in England, the thing is, in England, you do the sort of postcard cup technique, you know, you try and trap. In Australia, there was one this is a true story. Me and my brother were sharing a hotel, doing a bush tour, and there was a huntsman, it's called. And it literally was this big, right, on the wall. So we couldn't even get it in a mug. I had to go to the kitchen and get a mixing bowl, yeah? And we had to use an album. I used Abbey Road, right? This is a true story. And because mixing bowls, they're see-through, they're sort of magnifying. So it was that big anyway. When I put the mixing bowl, its head was bigger than mine. I could see its cheekbones. It was awful. And so I slid the album underneath it and took it outside and I put it out. And it didn't even just go in the bushes. It walked down the sidewalk like a man. Like a man would. It just went off. Crossed the zebra crossing. Must have got the idea from Abbey Road.
Is upsetting Romesh.
New Year's Eve. I think it's such an unacceptable day of the year. You know, the fact that it's sort of put under pressure to celebrate it. You know, everyone's sort of geeing up, what are you doing for New Year's Eve? What are you doing for New Year's Eve? And the thing is, it's the wrong time of the year. I know it's supposed to be at the end of the year, and that's OK, but it's just after Christmas. And then people are saying, when do you want to... What are we doing? Where are we meeting up? Well, I've literally spent Christmas period seeing you. Why would I want to see you again so soon after? It needs to be in the middle, like June, July, so we get a 6-month break. Not we're all hanging out, and then a few days later, here we are again. Yeah, it's a shame, isn't it? And then it's just sort of the whole thing about the whole idea of New Year's Eve, people getting ready with resolutions and stuff. I find resolutions, they should be banned. Because, like, my mum's New Year's resolution was to see me more. No, thank you. It's in complete and direct opposition to what I want to do now.
Hey, what doesn't Lee like about television?
Top Gear. Let's put this to bed straight away. I'm speaking on behalf of everyone in the world when I say cars are boring. Full stop. They're not interesting. And even the producers, I think, of the show know that that's true, because what they talk about is never the reality of cars, our world of cars. It's that fake reality of things like, today we're going to talk about off-road vehicles. Am I the only person in the world that's never driven off a road?
I have. I've gone off, but in a normal car.
Yeah.
In Nottingham. I see those women, and I just
I'm not talking
swerve.
about your heavy drinking days, Ruby. I'm talking about... Yeah, it's the language. The language that doesn't have anything to do with my experience of driving, you know. You know, you'll hear them say things like, you know, if I talked about the new suspension on the Audi 6149, you'd say, but what about the torque? I don't know, I wouldn't.
Lee, can I just say...
I'd say, where's the cup holder? Because that's the only thing. If it's on the right, good design. If it's on the left, it's a bad design because I'm right-handed. That's it. Anything else?
I know nothing about cars at all. I drive a grey one. And I've never seen Top Gear, because I have no interest in cars. Obviously, I haven't watched it. And so I watched a few episodes. I've got to say, I really liked it. I did. It reminded me of... I played cricket once with Jeffrey Archer, and he was a really nice bloke. I was gutted. What do you drive, then?
Well, as it happens, I drive a 1966 Triumph TR4A IRS, but that's not the point. The point is... But it's not the point, is it? Because...
Oh, you know, that's not true, is it?
No, it is, yeah. But I'd like to point out, because I know nothing about cars, but it's an old 1960s classic car, and I love the look of it. It's a beautiful... I can definitely appreciate...
Oh, God, it's going on now.
I can appreciate the beauty of a car without wanting to see a programme about it.
Here's the thing. This is a picture of Jeremy Clarkson in a small car. Now, that's funny, isn't it?
I won't have a word said against this man. Once I had him on a talk show, and my husband said, whatever you do, don't ask him for a free car. Before he actually hit the leather. I said, Jeremy, can you fix me up with a free car? Anyway, he did about 10 years ago, and I've still been using his name.
He got you a free car?
He got me a deal. I can't say with who.
No.
But so I have to say Jaguar as much as I can.
But would you love it more if it did more classics?
Yeah, I would, because classics look nice. All modern cars look roughly the same, don't they? Roughly.
Oh, no,
think,
not
yes.
a Jaguar.
No, they...
Jaguar.
If you're going to promote them, at least learn to say it properly.
How am I saying it
Jaguars, 3 syllables over here.
Yeah. You say
You're saying Jaguar.
Okay. I don't have time to say that, okay?
This is starting to look like a really bad episode of Top Gear.
I'll tell you what, if he gave her the glasses with that T-shirt, it'd be a really bad episode of Where's Wally?
So, what is Greg's first choice?
The Kardashians. Thank you and goodbye. I thought we'd start big. It's hard to know where to start, really. I suppose my biggest gripe is not the fact that Kim Kardashian has released a book of selfies called Selfish, or that she has released an app game that you can do where you have to go from the E-list to the A-list, and that's how you complete the game. That's annoying.
Take it from me, it's a very long game. I've given half my life to it.
So those are two annoying things. But
Right.
the thing for me is that when I was growing up, we used to watch rubbish telly and look at rubbish reality stars and go, oh, they're embarrassing, aren't they? But we didn't want to be them. But whereas now with the Kardashians, people seem to watch it and go, well, they're idiots, aren't they? But I quite want to be like her. And it feels like there's a lot of particularly young girls that want to be like the Kardashian girls. And for that reason, I'm going to try and put them into Room 101. The thing is, I think we need better role models. Okay, so I've actually got a list of role models who are better than the Kardashians. Would you like to hear the list?
Well, it's a 29-minute show, you see.
A list of better role models than the Kardashians. 1. Literally everyone else in the world, apart from murderers, but even then you can argue at least they have done something and have some skills.
Ooh. Whoa.
And that's kind of as far as I've got, really.
What is Catherine's choice?
DJs. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
This is DJs that join in at the end of the song. I mean, I love the radio. I've not listened to your show on the radio because it's too early, but I love the radio in the morning.
It's a podcast. But carry on.
So I love the radio in the morning, and, you know, you're listening to a song, they've played maybe, you know, Elvis in the Ghetto or something really moving, a storytelling song. You're in that special place, looking out the window at the morning happening, and then they just have to crash in and butcher it over the last 2 bars because they can't not hear the sound of their own voice for more than 20 seconds. I have actually almost lifted up the radio and thrown it through the kitchen window because it completely destroys. What's the point in playing a song if you're not going to let people get to the nice moment at the end when the song has finished and done its work?
Yes.
Do you do this? Am I putting you into Room 101?
I don't do it that much.
Oh,
I did it.
I didn't realise you did it.
I don't do it off. I interrupted. I played Vertigo by U2 a while back, and in the middle of it, I came in and started talking.
In the middle? That's even worse.
Because they had interrupted my iTunes music with their album. They started it. Let's see what Ian's choice is.
Film Grease. I hate that bloody film. When I was younger, it was all cool, and John Travolta had done Night Fever and all that stuff. He's a great dancer and that, and it's fine because, you know, when you're growing up, it looked pretty cool. They had the cars and everything. But as you get older, and like I've got daughters now, I was watching it the other day, and I thought I don't like Grease now. You know, you've got the girls, really decent, Olivia Newton-John, gorgeous, beautiful, nice gear. She's wearing nice clothes. She's wearing everything. She wanted to get the guys, so in the end, she had to dress up in that tight leather, high heel wearing, red lipstick, smoking biker chick to get the bloke. And I thought to myself, I don't want my girls to see Grease.
Wow. So, tell me more. Okay, so Russell's choice?
Grumpy Kids. Exactly, right? I was in a restaurant the other day and I heard a child say, "Oh, Wagamama again." I used to lose my mind when I went to a Harvester. Lose my mind. Go into school the next day, salad bar, amazing. Like, I had an Italian dish called a lasagna. I've got everything. They're whining. They've got wheels in their shoes. iPads. Sky Plus. If you'd have shown me Sky Plus when I was 10, I'd have thought you were a wizard. Like that, causing telly. And, like, could have been so much worse to just... Every kid I seem to do, like, I'm talking about 10-year-olds, just whining, tubby messes. And... it just does my head in. But it could have been worse. You could have grown up in the 80s, where, you know, the telly was awash with offenders, and, you know, it was, you know. And, like, think of the hours we played the recorder. The hours we did that. Have we ever needed it? And I've never been at a party. I know what this needs. Girls in the corner. Do you know Little Donkey? You know I do.
We have a picture of you when you were, I think, 12-year-old.
Oh, really?
Russell.
OK. Oh, there you go.
Happy child. Well, I haven't seen that for a long time. I look a bit like Harry Potter's German pen pal. Who would have thought that when I sat for that picture, it would end up on telly and people would just be like...
I know. Yeah, just
smile. What's the worst that could happen? All right.
When I was at school, the big game for us was a thing called pile-ups, where one kid lay on the floor and 50 kids lay on top. You'd be on the bottom thinking, shouldn't my ribcage be inside my blazer? I feel a bit sorry for kids now, though. I live in quite a sort of a posh bit of London, and I think the kids there just don't get enough sugar. You know, they ask for a cornetto, they get a little box of raisins. That's not parenting.
Well, exactly. I remember, like, remember Angel Delight now? There's a pudding.
Yes.
One bite of that, you know, I'm going on the roof! And my sister, it's one of the greatest moments in the Howard family. My sister's eating Angel Delight. She goes, Dad, what's Angel Delight made of? And my dad just went, dead angels. That's parenting. Me and my brother are like, this is the best day ever.
OK, so what is Greg's choice?
People who give their dogs specific instructions.
That old chestnut.
I just think a dog is of limited intelligence. It's well established, and there's an argument about whether they're sentient beings or not, whether they have any awareness of self. I can't be bothered to get into that argument,
no.
But they're dogs, OK? There are people in my local park who are having full conversations with their dogs. They're going, oh, Coco, don't mess around in that bush. And I think Coco doesn't know he's in a bush. Coco has no concept of what a bush is. Coco is just trying to smell other dogs' wee and try and find something to eat or have sex with. There's a woman in my park who walks about 5 dogs and she's going, oh, Lulu, don't play with Coco's stick, that's his stick. Well, Coco has some concept of ownership. And it wasn't his stick anyway. I saw him, he picked it up in the park. And the same can be applied, while I'm on the subject, to toddlers. I don't... I've heard mothers in West London talking to 2-year-olds going, no, don't play with that bowl because you're going to spill food on the floor and someone's going to have to come and clean that up. And the toddler's going, because all they've got a concept of is there's something they can ram in their mouth. They have no concept of the I'm genuinely furious.
But modern life. So what doesn't Dave like about modern life?
Chunky chips. Chunky chips are so wrong. You know, I cook for a living, but chunky chips, I wouldn't cook them, I wouldn't eat them. It just doesn't work. They're always raw in the middle. They're kind of cooked wrong on the outside. You see, when you deep fry, what happens, Frankie? If you get your temperatures right,
yeah.
like the potato inside The steam comes out, repels the fat, hence crispness on the outside, softness on the inside. But the thing is, with a chunky chip, it always remains raw on the inside, it sucks the grease in, soggy on the outside.
I'm getting very turned on.
Academically, sexually, sensually, chunky chips don't work. The thing is, if you want thick potatoes like that, you want to have kind of roast potatoes, you know, with the goose fat. You can always sprinkle polenta or a little bit of
Yeah, it's all right. It's not a cookery show.
I just think they're horrible. And when it says on a menu, comes with chunky chips, just forget it. They're just dreadful. And then they come in this, like, Yenga-like pile. So when you get them, they're flaccid, they're soft and they're cold. I mean, they're like a Yeti's member in a stack.
I can see why you didn't make it as a maitre d'.
No, but, and there's something offensive about the way that they stack them like that, like a game of Yenga, that's somehow so pretentious.
What, not as pretentious as saying Yenga? Jenga!
I like chunky chips, and I've never noticed them being raw on the inside.
At least with a good French fry. I'm not talking skinny chips, just a nice regular cut chip that's cut to that right kind of diameter, so the outside's crispy, preferably twice cooked.
Do you have a girlfriend?
You're married and everything.
If you don't met her, she's called Janet. I'm with Frank on this. I love a chunky chip.
Yeah, but some people like Morris dancing, and that's wrong as well.
Do you know what? That is a fair argument. To be fair, you can say that at the end of any argument. And
Not with me, you can't. I like Morris dancing. Yes.
And chunky chips.
And chunky chips.
You're weird.
Do you like wedges? What about potato wedges?
Isn't that when you pull your underwear up? With a potato?
Well, I don't know where the potato comes in.
It's not right.
I don't know anything about cooking, but even I know. Get a bit of duck fat on your finger, rub it on your chunky chip, and then you've got your chunky chip with a crispy outer. Little tip for you. Use it if you like.
No, you've got a piece of potato covered in grease.
Oh, that's what a roast potato is.
No, it's not.
I think I'm in a better position. You actually swiveled then. Right, that's it. That's fighting talk.
Well, I went to a restaurant. It was a very, very old-fashioned restaurant indeed. I ordered chunky chips, and they served them like this.